Has a massage session ever turned into something intimate? This story isn't mine, it's my colleague's. He was giving a massage to a female client, and things escalated. She was an attractive woman, and he became persistent. I think he simply didn't know how to read signals because she was married and was just being friendly. She filed a police report against him, and he lost his license. This happened to my former friend by misinterpreting certain signs or creating imaginary ones in his head. He tried to intensify the massage by touching intimate areas. The client stopped him and called the police. In the end, he was convicted of harassment. He was sentenced to 1 year of corrective labor and practically lost everything in his life. My wife was actually harassed by a male massage therapist. I don't know. Maybe he misunderstood signals, like you said, about your friend. But this guy tried to put his fingers inside her. Someone needs to watch less porn. I also have a story as a client. I lived in a big city in Southern California. Across the street from where I lived, there was a massage salon in an old building. I went there often, as much as I could afford, and everything was great. At least that's what I thought. I had never been to a massage therapist before, and I thought big tubs, showers, champagne. This was normal since I had nothing to compare it to. After each session, the women often asked if I needed anything else or wanted to extend the session. Being very frugal, I always said, no, thank you. It was great. I got dressed and went home. However, the last time something felt off. She made me turn over. Massaged my thigh muscles, let her fingers drift a little, and asked if I wanted anything else. I shyly replied, no, everything is fine, thank you. When we finished, she asked again if I wanted anything else, but I refused. A few weeks later, I was coming home from work and the police were already on my street. As many of you have guessed, they busted the place for being a well-known brothel. I tiptoed back home and waited for them to come and arrest me, but luckily that didn't happen. So, I'm a massage therapist. I worked at a gym and a guy asked for a 30-minute massage of his legs and abs because he was a runner. There was nothing unusual about that request. I finished massaging his legs and started on his abs. I pulled the sheet down to his thighs so his abs were exposed. He was completely naked under the sheet. Which isn't uncommon. Men usually just cover their intimate areas while I work on their abs. He raised his hand to scratch his nose, and when his hand came back down, he accidentally pulled the sheet, exposing himself. It didn't bother me. I just pulled the sheet back and continued working. Then the sheet accidentally slipped again, exposing him once more. I covered him again and kept working. Then it happened again. So this time, I grabbed the sheet and tucked it firmly under his ribs and continued without saying a word. He didn't try again. I finished the massage professionally and sent him on his way. Thankfully, he never came back. My mom is a massage therapist. She worked in several chiropractic offices. Where she works, if you're a good employee and trusted, the owners give you keys so you can see clients on weekends. One day, then I had to take a taxi to her workplace because she was supposed to massage a guy. He was married and had recently moved to the U.S. He sent my mom messages that made her doubt his intentions. But she brushed it off, thinking his English wasn't very good. She called me and asked me to come to her workplace as soon as possible. Apparently, the guy sent a message with a coded phrase that, in the massage world, means things are heading toward intimacy. I arrived early and met my mom. She tried not to overreact, calming herself by saying, maybe he didn't know what it meant. Maybe I misunderstood. After all, he has a wife. Then the man came in with candies and flowers. He saw me sitting there, completely confused, handed them to my mom, paid for the massage, glanced sideways at me, and left. A guy I know eventually started dating his massage therapist. Over several sessions, she lightly flirted, and then sent him a message saying he would need to switch to another specialist. He was very disappointed, until she hinted that therapists aren't allowed to date their clients. A few weeks later, he said, "So, baby, Dr. Stevens doesn't do quad massages like you did for me." Was that your way of showing interest? Absolutely. Over 15 years, I've had 4 guys try to turn a massage session with me into something else. It really annoys me. I always share their names and phone numbers with all my massage therapist friends, because if they get tired of harassing me, they'll look for another therapist until they get lucky. My mom, who is also a massage therapist, says there have been many cases where clients try to turn a massage session into something more, which can be quite unpleasant, but she never reciprocates. Once she told me about a guy who asked her to massage down there. She refused, so he grabbed her breast and kept his hand there for a while. My mom didn't know what to do, so she just continued working. Also, some clients make a lot of unnecessary moaning noises, but my mom finds it funny. My friend's ex-girlfriend was a massage therapist. She said there were constantly people asking her to do something nice or wear a low-cut shirt and things like that. Aren't there places in every big city specifically for fulfilling such requests? Why harass someone who could lose their job because of it? I used to work in a massage salon in Florida. There was nothing special. I just did my job. We had a couple of regulars who came about once a week. One regular who always asked for me came in one day. We started our usual small talk while I prepared for the massage, and he said he had recently divorced and the marriage had been very unhappy. Our salon was one of those places that offered happy endings, if you know what I mean. The guy looked pretty good, maybe a 7 out of 10. Good job, nice car, and he always tipped well. Near the end of the massage, he asked if he could get something more. At first I was confused and said he could always extend the session for an extra fee. He said, "No, I mean something exclusive." That's when I understood what he meant, and I smiled. He turned onto his back facing me, and I did it. Here's my story as a client. I was about 20 when it happened, and I still get chills thinking about it. And after a car accident, I was prescribed massage therapy for my shoulder. Only the arm and shoulder, nothing else. I came to the sessions and saw that a very young guy would be my therapist. I asked if I could keep my clothes on below the waist, and he said I should be in underwear. I already felt strange, but I agreed. I lay on the table, and he massaged me. Suddenly he started massaging my back, then lower and lower. I already felt very uncomfortable. Then he pulled down my underwear. You can imagine, his hands were strong and oily, and he slid them right between my buttocks. Oh my God. It was almost the end of the session, and it didn't last long, but I was so shocked that I froze. I got dressed and went to the front desk to cancel all future appointments with him. I didn't tell anyone about the incident, and the receptionists asked what went wrong, saying elderly ladies adored him, and maybe I should give him another chance. No way in the world. My wife's sister had a male client who, after the session, decided to masturbate. When she came back to the room so he could get dressed, she saw he had covered the massage table and used a ton of tissues trying to clean it up. Management then ordered that all tissues and towels be removed from the room whenever that client came back. My wife said it was the funniest moment of her career when he returned. After the massage, she called the front desk, and 2 girls came in and removed everything from the room. He quickly got dressed in shame, left, and never returned. My massage therapist told me about a case when a very attractive woman came for her first session. He asked her to undress to whatever level she felt comfortable with. Normally, you lie under a sheet or towel. He came back a few minutes later and found her sitting naked in a chair. She asked what to do next. Now he gives much more detailed instructions. The same thing happened to my colleague, but her client was an old man. She opened the door, said, "What the hell?" slammed it shut, then cracked it open to make sure he understood, and lay down on the table under the sheet as he was supposed to. I had a very sweet female client while I was massaging her neck and the muscles at the base of her skull. She leaned toward me, pressed her cheek against my forearm, sighed, and nuzzled me with her nose. She's just the type who completely zones out during a massage. So, while it wasn't overtly sexual, it was definitely an unusually intimate gesture. She snapped out of it when I quickly moved away from her cheek, and she immediately blushed with embarrassment. I also have several clients, men and women, who make strange sexual sounds without showing other signs of arousal. With some of them, I prepare for the worst when I ask them to turn over. I think some of them would like more from a massage, but nothing inappropriate happens. We have had some people ask by email or phone whether we do those things. If I wanted to satisfy people for money, I could do it without 3 years of training and paying annual professional fees. My spouse, who is also a massage therapist, once had a teenage boy who reached out to touch her thigh while she was standing next to the table. She politely but firmly stopped him. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new super interesting discussions. And for now, we suggest watching our other videos.